on this U.S. Immigrant visa issue, the halt on the processing. Ghana is one of the countries cited in there.
And interestingly, I read and found out they said that the new countries, including Ghana, that have been placed on it, it is for overstays to when you are Ghanaians and those who are on that list apply for stay in the U.S. and they are granted, they end up depending on government assistance. That is what the U.S. is saying. It's saying that this ban for those who want to file and go and live in the U.S. permanently, the suspension is because the countries that have been placed on this new list, including Ghana, when they grant them the access to the country, what they do is that they end up relying on the U.S. government assistance programs. Okay. And America doesn't want to have money to be spending on people who come to live there. So then they are suspending people who are coming. Yeah. It's interesting. And I think that sometimes countries take the actions like Trump does, but if they give us reasons like this, the question is it true that many Ghanaians who filed to go and stay in the U.S., some of them ended up there, and instead of working to take care of them, they rather prefer to be relying on government assistance programs.
They call them public charges.
Okay. If that is true, then it means that those who did that also contributed to this action. But as I always say, these things, this is the face value that they will use as excuse. But most of the time, there are deeper things in diplomacy that you will never get to know. Because those are the things that they are hiding and they want to get from you. And probably your government thinks that it's not in the interest of the country to grant that to them. Right. So then they find ways of pushing the people against the government so that the pressure will be on the government to grant them what they want. So when countries, US, that they issue these things, I always say that the reasons they have given to me are actually not the true reasons why they take those decisions. They have hidden issues. And I am suspecting that Ghana, for instance, is on this because it's like the deal we have done with them because of public uproar. It's like there's some friction. So there's a pause in the deportations for some time. And I believe that this is just to force us to open up and accept more people. Because the administration's agenda is to deport people.
We saw a similar thing in November.
So you realize that I believe that they are just using this to push the governments more to open up for them to bring more people.
Sir, quick thoughts.
You see, not too long ago, the visa restrictions were put on Ghana. What did we do? We went back to negotiate with the U.S. so that we will accept the immigrants within the sub-region, and then they restored our situation. From what I gather, they want to push us further, and so they introduce further restrictions, and then we'll have to also open up further for the U.S. to use us. As a transit point for the people that are being and then also you see as a matter of foreign policy, US will look out for its interest every time. See what happened in Venezuela. It's a US interest. They are looking at fighting drugs and then also expanding their access to energy sources. It's very obvious to anybody who follows international politics. What do we do as Ghanaians? We take a stance, issue a statement. I don't know the relevance of that. You see, sometimes I'm thinking that in diplomacy, until it really touches you, shut up. Really? I think so. I think so. If U.S. is having a banter with Venezuela, they are neighbors, right? We are very, very far away. I don't know how that is affecting us. I don't know whether the drug trade is affecting us. I don't know whether the energy source, oil interest in Ghana. We are a very small economy. And whatever we spend, I don't think it affects the global economy like that, especially when we are being told that Tor is upstream and
petrodollar.
Whatever it is. Look, but if you look at the statements that we issued, I think that the wording of the statement itself, for a president like Trump, I think that he will take a stance. And when he takes a stance, we invite some of these unnecessary things. Look, thankfully, when I was in Parliament, I was in part of the Foreign Affairs Committee. and the current foreign affairs minister was a member. There were occasions where I led delegations out of this country when he was a member, right? And so others were also quite exposed to some of these things. Sometimes, look, it's very unnecessary as attracting some of these things on ourselves, bringing on ourselves. What business do we have issuing that strongly worded statements on the Venezuelan
Let me give the final minutes to Honorable Ndebila on this matter.
Yeah, so I have listened to, I have read the statement, and what I notice is that it is not too clear what the main reason is. To say that this restriction or this ban is because of people who come to rely on the welfare, state welfare.
You become a burden on the US.
The burden of the US. I think that is not a very clear statement. There may be some hidden reasons, as he's saying, and the interest of US, is always paramount to the US. Every nation, but for US, you know how they don't joke with their state interest, and so I would not want to downplay what my colleague Honorable here is saying about the statement that we issued in relation to the Venezuelan attack, and I think let's see how the days unfold as we move along. We'll see how it unfolds.
Very well.
We are doing propaganda with our foreign policy.
Thank you, Honorable Ndebila from Zebila. Thank you, Honorable Issa from Okaikwe North. Thank you, Elvis Dako from the News Center. I am Nana Tufo Boateng.